Hey, it's Joy Foster, founder of TechPixies, the host of the Sparkle and Thrive podcast. And I've been wanting to do this podcast for about 2.5 years. So I'm excited that I get the opportunity to do it. Of course, a huge feature of our podcast are people within our community who are doing amazing, extraordinary, awesome things. And it's the reminder that that's not how they started, right? They were extraordinary, but they hadn't found that extraordinariness, if you will. So today we've got Paula Tadzik, and I want to call this Tech Magic with Paula Tadzik because that's literally what it feels like. So Paula, let's talk about when we met 2.5 years ago, what life was like for you and what one of the first things that we did and how that affects how we film this podcast.
So, when we met, actually, it was, the same story with most people, actually, that I joined at the same time. It was during COVID. I'd been made redundant and hubby and I, we had this plan. As with everything, you need to have a plan in life. And I didn't know what I was going to do, but we knew that we wanted to move to Poland. And we had the idea of this house for this B&B let, and this was going to be our dream, kind of what we were going to work towards. But I'd just been made redundant from a job that I'd had for 17 years. I had no idea what I was going to do there. There was still another 2.5 years before we left, or 2 years before we left. And I was really kind of like, I don't want to say panicking, but in my mind, I knew I had my vision. And that then, when we did our very first, we had that live call, and I remember it so well. And everybody that joined at the same time remembers that call that, you were just digging deeper and deeper into me. Okay. And I could explain to you what this house looked like. This house, it was this house. It was the white walls. It was the orange roof. It was the triangle, it was everything to do with this. And I could see that. And that's where I am now.
And so, for context, if you're new to the TechPixie world, or if you're new to this podcast, we do a lot of visualization at TechPixies. Very often I run vision workshops. It's also part of our superhero boot camp, and we help people to really imagine what life would be like for them if they could learn to leverage social media, or even if they're not interested in social media, what life looks like for them 3 years from now if they're living the life of their dreams.
When you can see it, when you can feel it, everything becomes more possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything. Well, and I love to tell your story, Paula, because there was a lot of trial and error in the first the first beginning of your. So what I like to say is when people start at TechPixies, it's like this Dr. Seuss machine. They come in one way and then they go out a completely different way. But when you started your first idea, and this is great, I love this, and I will never forget this for the rest of my days. Your first idea was you were going to help plumbers market.
Yes. Because that was my background. 17 years I've been working with plumbers and builders and electricians that, they have, and I'm sure, you try to get a hold of any of these guys, okay, they've got the worst websites. They don't know what social media is, okay? And they don't need to talk to anybody because they've got an armful of referrals that they never get back to anybody with, okay? And I just thought, gosh, with my skills, I can help them. And I know how to be with these guys. They still didn't want help despite how great I was.
To be fair to you though, so Paula goes. So you go to ClickFunnels. You go on this camp, this boot camp. So ClickFunnels is a funnel software. We use it at TechPixies. A lot of people use it. Paula, you use it. I love it. It's easy. It's great. It does its job. But so you go on a boot camp for ClickFunnels. Like I told you, go do this boot camp.
Yeah.
Like you should do boot camp. So Paula goes. And she did it. Yeah. I love it when people listen to me. They actually do what I say. No, I'm teasing. So Paula goes, and then you won an award like for the best funnel, which is for plumbers, which is so great. And then it didn't work. But that's half the battle of building a business. You put an idea out there.
And that's it. And I think that every time that you try to do something, you have to learn what you're learning. It's not really about the end point. It's about the skills that you're gaining during that learning. Because that is, yes, the plumbing thing didn't work out, but all of the things I was learning propelled me to where I am now.
Yeah.
Had I not have had that shift, that movement, I wouldn't be here now.
Well, we're so excited about where you are. So you have just recently written and published, drumroll, a book Oh my gosh. So what's it called? What's it about? This is so huge. I just love it so much.
You see, I always felt, and I come across this a lot actually with my community, my community that I work with, that everybody's got that missing puzzle piece. Okay. And I always felt like, I'm such a good student. We just heard that now. If there's something to go and do and learn, okay, I'll do it and I'll apply it. And then I get so angry at myself, and I see this happen with so many people. I get so angry at myself that, why did that not work? It should have worked. I learned it. I was a good student. I applied it. Why didn't it work? And it's because actually, okay, it wasn't my missing puzzle piece. So I wrote, this is your missing puzzle piece. Okay. And this is all about understanding, okay, where you are, and, the things that you've gone through and the things that you do need to be learning, and to kind of maybe is to help you ask the hard questions to yourself about, did you try that? Yes. And if it didn't work, okay, that doesn't mean that what you have isn't going to work.
Yeah.
It just means that you're looking at it wrong.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I went to a training, moved to a foreign country, go to a 3-day intense training in Krakow for 3 days by yourself. Woohoo, go me. But I came away from that training actually, and it was to do with MMI, and, and I realized that my missing puzzle piece actually was my money mindset belief, which is really funny because I relocated to a different country this year. I've set up another business, okay? I've had a successful business already for 3 years prior to that, okay? And yet my missing puzzle piece was a money mind block. And I didn't know that. I didn't know what my missing puzzle piece was.
And it's true for a lot of women. I mean, the money mindset thing is huge. We have a money mindset masterclass at TechPixies now that we run a couple times a year, and it's huge. And women, I mean, just epigenetically, just from the concept of, for millennia, women didn't work for money, and that's passed on from generation to generation to generation. It's not like a decade or 2 decades. It's like millennia, women didn't work and get paid. So they worked, they just didn't get paid. And so there's a part of us that's just like, well, I will work really, really hard, but I don't deserve to get paid, because that's literally the genetic message that's encoded in the female genome that goes passed on and on and on. And, it's really unfortunate, but it's also really cool because brain science, we know so much more about neuroscience, the way that the brain works. We can hack our brains and we can think differently. And you have done that all along. You've been making these shifts and shifts and shifts, and it's super cool. So, and you've helped people to make those shifts as well.
Yeah. So do you know what my particular money blind block was?
Oh, tell me. I want to know.
So you see, I set up my business when I started TechPixies, okay? And my business has been successful year on year. For 3 years now, I've owned a business, and every year it's 10 profit. Every year I've paid myself. My problem was that I didn't like the way that marketeers would put out there, actually, join me, do the 7-day boot camp, have a 7-figure business.
Yeah.
Or all the times I was being messaged, oh my God, we can upscale your business and you can have an 8-figure business. And we've shown other companies how to 30 times their revenue, because actually that side of it made me feel icky. And I truly believed if I wanted to grow my business to any sign of scale, I would have to market it in a way that didn't feel right to me. And therefore, actually, I had to get out of this block that said, actually, do you know what? Fucker it. I deserve to earn this money in my business, okay? And I'm not going to just throw up a website. And somebody actually told me about a year and a half ago, just tell them what they want to hear, Paula. You've got the good stuff. Just tell them what they want to hear. And I'm like, are you not listening to me? I don't want to put on my website, I can make your business do X, Y, and Z. It's down for me. Maybe it would. But, okay, I really can't sell something unless it completely agrees with me, because it just wouldn't sit right.
Yeah.
And therefore, actually, it's so hard for me to have a sales page rewritten. And shout out to Ella, who's in our community. She's helping me to rewrite my new sales page now for the Complete Business Toolkit.
Yeah, and she's good. Ella's good. And
she's amazing. So,
I mean, we have the coolest community. I mean, we've been building this community for 8 years. We've got 903 women in it. It's not a small community, but what it is it's a dedicated community. And women are still involved, still engaged, still sharing their wins. Like, I knew about your book because you're still, you're still involved. You're still, so it's important to recognize that, like, when someone comes new into our community, we do everything we can to connect them to people that are already in the community, but also to connect them to other new people. And then also make sure that over time, as they share certain things, we can tag people that are relevant to them. But yeah, we have a couple of superstars that are really coming out as super strong in different areas. Ella Hoyos really great on the copywriting side, but especially on conversion copy. And sales page copy. And then of course you're well known in our community as being able to solve like any tech problem. Like just go to Paula. Like that is literally like, go to Paula, go to Paula, go to Paula, go on. And you know, we've had people in the past who are really good at websites. And so it's just been, and we have new people in now who are really good at websites. So it's great to have people to point people to, because within our community, we have a huge range of skill sets, from video, you know, confident on camera, to, you know, the social media stuff, to the website stuff. It's amazing. And we've got some great alumni that have come out of your cohort, particularly because now we're 3 years on, we're seeing some real impact in, you know, like Kirsty Raper and a couple other people who've built really sustainable businesses that are paying them well, that are giving them the flexibility that they want. And I think that's a staple to the fact that, you know, you guys have found your vision. You've leaned into your vision. You've taken those scary steps, right? We were laughing earlier before we got on. We're like, you get to a point where nothing scares you anymore because you're so used to going out of your comfort zone all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like nothing scares you. So let's talk about this book, because you really have established yourself in this community as someone who can solve like any tech problem. But also, you've also partnered with Carol Ibbotson in our community.
Yes.
You guys built a very successful business, profitable business, selling crochet and knit, tech design, tech editing. That's right.
Tech editing courses, yeah.
Tech editing courses. And now that you've got this place in Poland, you're even coming together. I love this. You're coming together to do a retreat. Is that right?
Yes. In June next year, there is a knitting and crochet retreat happening here in Poland. And
Sold out. You're sold out. You're fully
sold out. Yeah. Yeah. So, and it was just great. And it was something which, you know, when, you know, you have 100 ideas a minute, you know, a lot of us do. And it was so lovely, actually, because I remember talking to Carol, you know, she was saying, oh, you know, they're always putting on these retreats for these knitting groups, you know. And I said, oh, we could do that at our place. And she's like, yeah, all right then. And it was just something. And then I just threw a sales page together and she went, love it. We put it out to her community and it got snapped up. And it was like, okay, we're doing it. And that's it, you know. But again, you know, all of these things have to come from, you know, an idea, and then just go, well, yeah, let's do it then. That's fine.
Yeah, I would like to say done not perfect, perfect it once it's done.
Oh, done not perfect is my favorite. It's actually at the beginning of my book, you know, and actually it does. And it goes, and she gave it back to me, and it said, "Done, not perfect," and I knew it was ready.
Yeah, I love
this
it.
Is me. This is actually, you know.
Okay, give us 3 reasons why people should get the book, and tell us where they can get it.
It's now available on Amazon. You can have your own printed copy. On the 22nd of December, it goes as a digital copy. So, so why you should get it? It doesn't matter actually why you should get it. If you want to know why you should get it, you should get it. Because actually, if you're searching for something and everything else that you've tried so far has failed, this might be your answer. I'm not going to say it is, because actually I can't do that, and I'm not going to, you know.
So again, it's a book you work through.
It's a book you work through.
An answer to find your missing piece.
Yes, and then you're asked to write all of your things at the back. Well, I prompt you with really horrible questions.
Give us a couple of the really horrible questions.
Okay, and let's ask a few horrible questions. Okay, so
I'm not saying I'm going to answer them, but you can ask.
What was the reason you started working for yourself?
Oh, well, that's easy, because I wanted to work from home. I wanted to work flexibly, and I wanted to pay myself better than everybody else would pay me. Okay.
I want you to write down, your standard responses. And what I mean by this is called this is from the chapter, the silent pandemic. And it's where I talk about how, if I say to you, Joy, I really, really love your necklace, your response should be,
oh my gosh, I do too. My mom gave it to me and I wear it every day.
Your answer should just be thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We don't know how to say thank you.
Yeah, we have to explain everything.
Exactly. And then you go, oh my God, but your necklace is nice as well. Oh no, that's really hot. Oh, do you know? And I talk about how we crave so much for, you know, the children or the husband doing something around the house, okay? And we want them to do it for us, okay? And yet when they do it, okay, we try to say thank you, but it's really not accepting of us, you know. And then when we do something, we want them to say thank you to us, but we don't take it anyway. Okay. And so therefore, actually, you have to write down, okay, your standard responses to what I don't say thank you for. Okay. And the biggest one is, I love you. Yeah, I love you too. Not thank you. To take it.
I love that. Say thank you. I love you. I love that so much.
You have to take it. So yeah. And then, yeah, asking yourself, you know, the real extreme things, you know, I mean, what is stopping you from doing that one extreme thing? When I went to this event in October, there were 10 opportunities every day over the 3 days, okay, where in a room of 500 people, okay, they would invite people up on stage to go and dance, okay, and 5 would be left, okay, and you never knew which 5 were ever going to be left, and then you had to just dictate to the whole room, okay, 7 or 8 different dance moves, and everybody would follow you. Okay, the question is, are you brave enough to do it? Because you know what? No one cares.
Yeah. They're not thinking about you anyway. They're thinking about themselves.
They're just looking at you thinking, oh my God, I wish I was as brave as she was.
Amen.
Okay? Because the minute you get out of your own way, magic happens. It really does. It really does.
Totally. And how cool is it that you literally are like Paula Magic? Paula Magic Tadzik. I love it.
That's it. That's it. So yeah.
All right, cool. So that's so it's a self-discovery book. And at the end of it, you're gonna know a lot about yourself.
Yeah, and I've got some really lovely quotes in here actually. I had my book went out to my members actually, and everybody got something different from it that read it to start with. Okay. And I just think that already, you know, somebody wrote me an email actually about an hour, I don't know, a few hours after having it. And she said, I think I've already answered my puzzle piece. I hope this book is going to be a success for you. And I said, the fact that you've already found it means it's a success. It's a success. Yeah. You know, I don't, you know, if nobody else picks up this book from today onwards.
You're supposed to say thank you.
Thank you. And I did. But if nobody else picks up the book from today onwards, you know, I know that the 25 people that have read this book so far have had a change in their life.
Yeah. Well, and you have, so that's true. So you've got your business now with your dream home where people can come and stay there in Poland.
Yes. We've got a built out website, Biskitska Apartments. Okay. The website built in 2 languages. We're on booking.com as well. So you can come and find us. It's huge.
We're going to put it in the show notes. So don't worry. It'll go in the show notes. We'll make sure that the link is there. So you do that. You're involved in Carol's business, which is the knitting and crochet, the tech editing. So we'll make sure we include that link in the show notes as well. And then you've got this book. Where can people find the book?
Amazon.
And they just have to search for the name of it.
Yep. This is Your Missing Puzzle Piece by Paula Tadzik.
There we go. There we go. So that's where they can find the book. And then you also have a membership, which we have. I love this. Kelly says, Paula is such a font of knowledge and my go-to gal when I get get into a tech pickle. I love that. TechPixie and a tech pickle. Go to Paula.
It happens. It happens. Sometimes you just need to know where to put your HTML, okay, and figure out what DNS is. Okay, yes. And once that bit's done,
if you don't know what HTML is or DNS is, then you do need to be in Paula's membership. So tell people about your membership, what you do there, and you know why it's so important.
It's a collective group of visionaries, you know, strong people with that real great idea in terms of what they want to do, but they need their hand held and some guidance, and so therefore, you know, the membership is once a week we get together. Via Zoom. There are 2 calls. There's a Pomo session on a Thursday, and then we have the, you know, one other Zoom call a week. And every week it will range between a Q&A session, because there are so many questions that come up every week when you're running your own business. We have a Power of Yes session once a month where, you know, you commit to doing something with the community around you. Okay. And then we have techie sessions and hot seat sessions and you know, learning sessions in terms of they throw stuff at me and go, I really need to learn this. I'm like, okay, so we put that in then as well. So, but it's, you know, that combined with, you know, the platform that we've got as well, just it enables a lot of people to have their own businesses. But know that, you know, when you're running your own business, a lot of what you're doing is generically and underlying the same, you know. And if you can have your hand held in that support to kind of get over those hurdles, you don't feel like you become stuck so often, you know, that tire in the wheel, you know, the wet mud, just, you don't need that, you know. So this is your safety net, your chains, you know, whatever you need to be able to get going up that hill. You know, with the snow outside at the moment, we need to change occasionally. So
you got 4 feet of snow.
We got 4 feet of snow outside, yeah. So it's going to carry on snowing again tomorrow.
About it.
It's only yesterday was only -11. But actually, it's not like being in England. And I'm saying this actually, you know, here people we put proper boots on, proper coat, proper hat, okay, but it's not the wet cold that you get in England.
Yeah, you're not cold to the bone.
No. And you have to dress properly, otherwise you die.
Properly. When I lived in Switzerland, they used to say there is no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. And I think
exactly.
You do when you live in that environment. Well, tell people what it's like. You know, here we go. So we always talk about 3-year visions at TechPixies, you know, like 3 years out, you know, so here we are having a conversation in 2020 and 3 years from now it's 2023 and everything's worked out. I mean, what does it feel like to actually be living in the vision that you crafted 2.5 years ago? What's that feel like?
Surreal, but natural. When you have an idea, when you know what it's going to be, and you know, when just as you know, TechPixie started, you know, just before TechPixies, okay, I you know, there was a lot of bad stuff that happened. I nearly lost my husband, you know, and since then we've been through lots of bad things as well, you know, where he's been back in and out of hospital. Really, you know, if you have a vision and you can see it so clearly, okay, stepping into it becomes the most natural thing possible. And it's so bizarre being here, okay? And if I sit and think about it for a little bit too long, I can sometimes start to get panicky, you know, oh my God, what am I doing living in another country in the mountains? And no, I don't speak fluent Polish. I'm still learning, okay? And yes, I sometimes need my translator app on my phone. And, you know, sometimes I panic a little bit, but for all of the right reasons, I'm calm because it was a natural progression, because that was it. That was what I had in my heart. That was what I knew I was going to be doing. What I was going to be doing and how and all of the little bits, no idea.
Yeah, that's when I love the saying that we don't know the how, but we know the how is known. So you just have to have a clear vision of the end game. And now, you know, here we are, it's 2023. It's time for you to craft a 2026 vision, you know, which I know you have.
I got it. Yeah.
So yeah, tell me. I want to know. So what's the 2026 vision?
The 2026 vision, actually, which is the same as I was talking to we went to yesterday to Krakow, because actually, since we had this first original plan, Brexit happened. So actually, I don't have a right to be in this country. So I actually have to go and apply for a temporary residence. And it was the same. She asked me yesterday, so what do you plan on doing in Poland? And I said, now my plan is for my boys now for the next 5 years to see a Polish education and how different it is from England. And I think that they really need to have that. And for now, the next 5 years is for me to enjoy with my husband and grow this business, you know, and get the business to a point, because after 5 years, then Donnie will be going off to be secondary school. And then we have our then 10-year plan on beyond that. So, you know, and it's just now living for today, because the whole point of moving here was to be able to spend time with each other, to be able to live together, not just pass each other in the hallway, you know, and have half an hour chat of a night time. That is not the whole idea of life. The whole idea is to be able to enjoy life. And that's it. My next 5 years is now just about playing this, enjoying it, loving it. Okay.
And I was like, we have to do this interview upstairs in the upstairs apartment, because downstairs is chaos with the kids and the animals. And I just thought that was so classic.
My dog would be all over us by now. So she's so yeah.
Well, you know, and I didn't mean to cut you off, because it was so beautiful what you're saying. But like, I think 100% it's this idea that we have to connect with the vision. And when we're connected with the vision, then that's why it's so important. You know, if you, like you said, if I sit and think about what I'm actually doing, That's not helpful. What's helpful is to sit and connect with the vision.
Yeah.
It's like, when there's a storm brewing on the top of the ocean and there's, the boats are flying around and there's lightning and there's thunder. If you go deep enough, it's completely calm.
Yeah, just hold on. That's it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Whenever I get a wobble moment, I sit down with hubby. We have time together now, which we never, ever, ever, ever had before. And we just spend time together. We'll take a walk in the woods, which is right out my back door. We'll just talk. When you give yourself that thing, that's the thing that you need to hold on to, because that's the thing that's going to take you forward.
So thank you for that. Well, if you're missing a piece of your puzzle and you don't know what it is, I think Paula's right. We all have a missing piece. You need to go grab her book. I'm a huge fan of Paula's. We also whenever you're listening to this, you get the book because the book's on Amazon, which is great that you can get it anytime. We also have a gift guide at TechPixies, which features all of the TechPixies in our community who have products to sell. And we have an amazing range of products. And I'm very excited about that. So the gift guide is also going to be going out with the podcast that's promoting Paula's book. So
yes, and if you get the book with the gift guide, I'll also send you, whilst you wait for your book, I'll send you the PDF copy, so you don't need to wait. And I will also then send you the training templates to then go and launch your own book on Amazon, just to kind of take away the fear and the neglect, because this is...
That told me. I'm on... Where do I go? I want to put the link in the chat. No, that's brilliant. So you're going to...
It's all on the gift guide. So just via that form. All you have to do is that. Okay, then I've got all your details. And as soon as the training's ready by the end of Jan, then everybody can have a copy. So I think everybody should be launching their own magic.
We're going to put a form in the gift guide for you to get the bonuses that Paula's talking about. I'm super excited about that. All that information will be on our website. So techpixies.com. Paula, thank you. This was such an honor to get to hang out with you.
No, it was really, I was like so excited to come and join us with this girl. It was like,
Yeah, this is a podcast that I have been wanting to do for years. And, here she is in the house. So it's fantastic. And we will, I would definitely love to do a TechPixie retreat.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Yeah, I think we got to do that. So if you're interested in that, let us know. Support at techpixies.com. We want to know if you'd be interested in a TechPixies retreat at Paula's magic, amazing place that we want to go see. All right. Thanks, Paula. And thanks everybody for listening and engaging. I super appreciate you. And go get that book. It'll all be linked into the show notes. All right. Awesome. I really, really, really enjoyed that. And of course, we have the most amazing community at TechPixies. Really, it's amazing. And I'm super excited about the gift guide. I've got my Christmas tree up over here. So I'm all ready and all decked out for Christmas. I personally only buy presents for my family through our gift guide. So, my mom is like all decked out in TechPixie stuff every year. I only buy from our community. And that's because I support small businesses. I am a small business and I totally get that. So you will not see me buying presents anywhere else but within our community for Christmas, unless of course it's like something that only my kids want and it's like a tech thing and there isn't a TechPixie that sells it, right? So but just know this gift guide it's curated for you. It's from our community. It's an amazing compilation of gifts from that are created by amazing women in our community. And so if you'd like to do your shopping in that small business setting and you want to know that it's coming from an amazing person like Paula, then do check out the guide. We will have all the information in the show notes. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you around.